really got client results. So let's get right into it. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how she is able to drop 40 pounds, right, and 10 inches off her waist in a 5 month span. All right. So when you lock in, guys, a lot of you guys don't think these results are realistic or they're capable of happening. The reason is you've never locked in for more than one day, right? You never really locked in for more than 1 week, more than 1 month. When you really focus on everything you can control and you literally day in and day out do the best that you can, you're going to get the best results you can in that amount of time. But a lot of you guys don't take it day by day. You just focus on the specific number on the scale. This is an example of what happens when you take it day by day, right? All right. So the first thing she struggled with specifically was just like really having like a consistent workout plan and a solid nutrition plan. Since before she had her kid, prepartum, she never really dealt with being overweight, right? So it was new for her. It was like a new identity for her. Being overweight was uncomfortable for her. So she really wanted to bounce back, right? She never really struggled with weight. So having that postpartum body be way different and have way more fat made her struggle mentally, of course. It's like, identity. It felt like identity theft because she was like, I'm lean, I'm healthy, I've never been like this, I've always loved my body. So the first thing we had to work on, obviously, besides the mental, was just making sure that we actually focus on the nutrition and get her on a structured nutrition plan. Like I said, something she never had before. She never had before, right? A structured nutrition plan and a structured workout plan. Usually she would kind of just, kind of eat whatever, stay, maintain her weight or whatever. So she never knew high protein calorie deficit and things like that because she never had to deal with it. All right. So here are some common misconceptions that we have about weight loss that she also had that are absolutely not true, guys. So first of all is you can't lose fat without fad dieting. A lot of people think keto, carnivore, or watermelon fasting is the reason they're losing weight when in reality it's because they are in a calorie deficit. So as long as you are in a calorie deficit, you are going to be losing weight. All right. You're going to be losing fat. That is the key to losing fat, not a certain diet, not a specific diet. Okay. The key to losing fat is being in a calorie deficit. That's the main thing. All right. And a lot of people think you have to make extreme changes to lose weight. Now, to lose fat and keep it off sustainably, right? You have to make simple, small changes that are sustainable over time. You don't want to make big ass extreme changes for a short period of time. All right. That's how you burn out. That's how you crash out. And that's really how you fat diet, to be honest. Another thing people think is that you have to do, an hour of cardio 7 days a week, 2 hours of cardio 7 days a week to get to your goals to lose, a lot of fat. When in reality, if your nutrition is on point and your strength training, you will still lose fat, guys. All right. So here's the method. Protein shake. Here's the method, guys. The volume method, you guys already know about this, right? Talk about it literally every video because this shit literally changed my life, guys. When you realize that food volume is going to keep you full while also keeping a deficit, it makes it way easier. Now, I've actually had a lot of people on TikTok Live today, actually. They were like, hey, man, so it's hard for me to eat a lot of protein because usually when I start eating healthy, I can't eat that much. And I'm like, yeah, because it's high fiber foods, it's whole foods, and it's keeping you full longer. Versus when you're eating all this shit, this is not going to fill you up. This 3,500 calories is not going to fill you up. Versus all this is going to fill you up. Each meal that you have here is going to fill you up because it's so high in protein, high in nutrients, high in fiber, right? So it's very, very important to eat closer to this, further from this. Because look at this. Drinking 400 calories, it feels like you're drinking like water, right? When you drink those. So you don't even realize that it's that much. And then this high in sugar is going to affect your insulin resistance. All of this over here is high in protein, high in vitamins and minerals, which is really, really going to help you on your journey, right? So it's super, super important, guys. Number one, focus on quality of food, the quality of food that you're eating. All right. It's not just about the quantity, it's about the quality as well. Quality is very, very important when it comes to food. A lot of you guys just kind of eat shit, right? And then they're like, I don't know, I'm not getting results. It's because your quality of food is really low, right? Maybe you're in a calorie deficit, but you're going to be losing weight, not fat, if your food is not high protein and high quality. All right. So her stage one was her epiphany stage, of course. Before she started working with me, she never really dealt with weight issues. So it's like really hard when you've been super fit your whole life and you've been like kind of slim thick or whatever, and then your postpartum, your pregnancy changes your entire body, and then it makes you realize like, wow, I never really had to focus on nutrition, never had to adjust anything. This is really difficult. I don't know what to do. Am I going to be like this forever? Like those kind of thoughts were getting in her head. It's like, oh my God, is this my new life? Is this my new identity? Am I just, out of shape for life? And it was really, really scary for her because in all honesty, guys, just think about it. Like you've always been used to a certain body and then, things change. Like I relate this to a lot of athletes because a lot of college athletes, they worked out their whole life since they were, 10 years old. They probably had abs. And then all the way through college, they always had abs because they're doing like, they're burning 10,000 calories a day, just going through practice, eating whatever the trainer gives them, eating whatever the nutritionist at the colleges give them. And then they leave and now they're doing like a truck driving job and they're eating the same amount, But since they're not as active, they're getting fat, and they're like, well, I guess this is just life. When in reality, it's like they don't understand, the ins and outs of calories. All right. So realization that, she wasn't certain of exactly how to get rid of fat, how to get rid of the unwanted fat and get the physique she wanted, which is exactly why, she hopped on the call with me. And she couldn't fit into her old clothes. She was trying to hide her belly fat in all her clothes. She was super, super self-conscious, which is honestly what a lot of us go through when we're not at our goal physique. It's just I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping this shit real. That's like really what we go through. That's what I was going through as well. Right. She was fearful that she wouldn't be able to get her physique back and her confidence back. She really thought like this was just her new physique. She was like, well, I guess after pregnancy your physique's just done. You know what I mean? So it was really hard for her. She was taking care of her kid, taking care of her newborn by herself. She had to get back into, PT shape, um, all of the stuff at once. And then she also wanted to get her confidence back. That's a lot of stress at once, right? Because this is like a big event. Like it's awesome. You're having your kid, and then all of a sudden, like you're taking care of it by yourself, taking care of him by yourself, him or her by yourself, and then you also got to take care of yourself, which is really, really hard, really, really hard. All right, so what we did to get her to results, of course, we incorporated compound movements, progressive overload. We didn't overdo cardio, right? So she didn't get a lot of steps throughout the day, so we incorporated a little bit of cardio, like some jogging, like I said, for a PT test, so she can get back in shape for that. If anyone ever has PT, whether it's the Army, whether it's police or something like that, then of course I'm going to give them like some running cardio because they have times they have to actually beat. But one of the things people don't realize is one of the things that will help the most with just being better in shape for like those long distances is when your cholesterol is lower, which means your nutrition's on point, right? Because a lot of times you have high cholesterol, you're eating fried foods, and that's what makes it so hard to run. Like that really slows down the oxygen transport. Once you clean up your nutrition, like running gets a little bit easier. Obviously, you still have to practice it, but just me not running or not doing Stairmaster or anything because I eat better now. If I go do Stairmaster, I could probably do it for more than I've ever done it before, right? Like I warm up on Stairmaster. If I don't pay attention to the time, I could literally spend 30 minutes on there easily, just like chilling on like level 7, 8, 9, just relaxing. All right, so like I said, we incorporated a calorie deficit, high protein. We had a lot of different salmon recipes, things that she could enjoy. It didn't feel like she was like actually starving herself because she was under the impression that she has to starve herself. And it was really good. It was really good because when you realize that you don't have to starve yourself and you overall want to be in a calorie deficit, you don't have to do fad diets, things like that. It really helps your mental, takes a lot of stress off of you. And then you could actually enjoy the process. When you enjoy the process isn't going to feel as long. The process isn't going to feel as hard, right? So, like I said in the other slide about the volume method, we prioritize volume, fiber, protein, and water intake. That's very, very important. If you don't take anything else away from this video, take away calorie deficit, high protein, and fiber, protein, and water intake. All right, take that away from it if you don't take anything else away from it. All right. As you can see from this looks like a shit ton of food, and it's like less than 500 calories because you have a lot of greens, you have a lot of veggies, cucumbers, tomatoes, things like that, and then just meat. Pause. So that's very filling, high protein, and then I'll keep you full. All right, resistance training. I know I spelled it wrong. Leave me alone. Resistance training. So it was a priority. Now we don't make excuses. We make progress, right? And I'm so proud of her because she didn't make any excuses. In all honesty, she had a very busy schedule, right? Like a lot of you guys say you have a busy schedule, but you don't have a schedule like she did. All right, so of course she's taking care of the kid. She's going to work. So we gave her some at-home workouts some days, and then some days gave her like a little bit of cardio. And we really prioritized that strength training because that's something she needed. I wanted her to maintain all her muscle mass so she could have her curves when she does get leaner. Because a lot of women say that they want to be curvy, but then they say they want to be toned and they avoid weights. Weights are what make you, are what going to make you curvy and toned. Because guess what? When you lose the fat, right? When you lose the fat, if you have nothing under there because you haven't lifted weights, guess what's going to happen? You're going to look like a bag of milk or just skinny as shit and you're going to be pissed. So it's very, very, very important that you make sure that you are lifting weights, especially during your cut. That's like one of the most important times, to be honest. All right. So making it a lifestyle was, one of the hardest things. So she was on the go a lot and like going out of town. One thing I like to do before any of my clients go out of town, we get on the call, we talk about their itinerary, right? And just basic shit like that. The itinerary to take the stress off of it, because a lot of times if you do anything without intention, you are going to go off the walls. So you want to do everything with intention. Hey, if it's your birthday, have two cheat meals on your birthday, enjoy a drink and then get right back on track and make sure your steps are, higher since you're walking everywhere. Maybe you're on vacation in Chicago, New York, DC or something like that. So you'll be walking more, so that'll compensate for it. Right. So you got to really never attack a vacation or just never be like, yeah, I went on vacation, so I had to eat bad. When you're in that mentality, you're screwed for life. Right. Because that means that anytime there's an adjustment or a change to your schedule that you can't prioritize fitness. So that's why it's always about making it a lifestyle. And like I said, vacation, you still want to eat good on vacation. You want to cut off toxic habits, right? Very, very simple things. All right. Now, exactly what we did. Recap. I know you probably can't see it. Jesus Christ, I don't know why I did this. Sustainable calorie deficit, increasing, her cardio. Like I said, we did some cardio. We did like some jogging just for the PT test. Like I said, I usually don't do cardio, but if you have a PT test, you're in the police academy or you're doing the army, then of course I want you to do the best you can in that. So I'll give you like, 1 or 2 days of jogging, a mile or two, nothing crazy. Right? Changing her instant gratification mindset to delayed gratification and making it a lifestyle, guys. Really, really simple, nothing crazy. Very simple video, very straightforward. I just wanted to show you what can happen when you really lock in, focus, and you execute your nutrition and your workout, and you're held accountable, but you're consistent. When you're consistent, you're going to be unstoppable. Like I'll just be honest with you. That's basically everything in a nutshell. Is when you're consistent, you're going to be unstoppable. All right. So as you can see here, if you want to lose belly fat, if you're serious about losing belly fat, and you're literally like, I can't do it, I can't lose belly fat, it's not happening. Link is in the description, man. We don't play around here, man. We get results.